Dear hearts, the wonder of a little child that looks on at all the lights, the joyful sounds, the expressions of season's greetings during the Christmastide. The stories of old, read aloud, capturing the attention of even the child within the adult. All this because there is a spirit of Christmas. Because there is, at the core, the Christ light. It's self-luminous, scintillating, as pure as the purest of snow, containing all of the radiance of the God qualities. For this light, blessed hearts, is your native home. It is where you belong. When you begin to understand this, and are drawn more and more to the practices and disciplines required to maintain that connection, so that the flow of this light is constant within your own vehicles of expression. The mind, your emotional body, your physical body, the atmosphere about you, all of the things that you own, that you touch, all this, blessed hearts, because you have received the blessing of the light of your own Holy Christ self. You have given birth to it, and it takes its rightful dominion, displacing all unreality and allowing for the pure wonder, for that renewed spirit of holiness to be maintained, not just during the Christmastide, but throughout all of your days. For it is not necessary for you to put off till another year, and the cycles of the clock go ticking away the time till you return to another Christmastide, to then take up the stories once again, the refrains of the Christmas carols that remind you of the birth of one Son of God, and allow you to begin to rehearse over and over again in your own mind the possibility that you are likewise a son or daughter of God. This is not born out of a consciousness that would weave a tale of fantasy, but it is announced to you by your own Holy Christ self, speaking within the mind, allowing you to have a greater touch of reality, so that when you elevate your consciousness into this glorious realm of the estate of your holy Christ self, it is like floating in the air. You do not perceive time and space. There is a glow all about. Everything that has within it a purity and a perfection of divine identity that is allowed to unfurl and show forth that light. O blessed hearts, invite the radiance of your own God presence to shower you with the blessings of the white light of purity, so that you might have a renewed sense of the childlike wonder of life all about you. Unlike so much of mankind that have become cynical, O blessed ones, you know when the light is present, for there is a peace that comes over you. You move about your day effortlessly. It would seem that surely there are angels clearing a path for you to traverse, beckoning those life streams into your midst that you are to communicate with, that are to assist you or you them. All this because you have opened up the pathway of the light to flow freely, to come into your midst, to radiate through the energy centers of your being. And in the silence, you do hear the sweet voice of your own holy Christ self, sending forth patterns of thought to impress upon your mind, vibration that reminds you of that holy estate, the natal beginning of your life. And you know you are truly blessed. And with that blessing bestowed abundantly upon you, you likewise are capable of extending your hand, giving of your heart, expressing the love of God that burns brightly. You impart it freely, unconditionally, without any concern of yourself. Is this not the spirit of Christmas? Is this not what all of the sons and daughters of God in embodiment desire for themselves? You will find that when you believe the very best about another, holding them in the perfection of the identity of their Christ self, that they in turn will begin to understand that there is something greater that they may aspire toward. And you likewise will find it more easy to think the best about yourself, not entertaining doubts or fears, but moving with fearlessness toward the next opportunity, not fearful to extend yourself or to give of oneself, fearing that you may lack on some cold winter night to have a place to rest your head, just as Mary and Joseph found lodging in a manger. There will always be a manger for you. There will be the nourishment, the warmth of love, and the comfort. For your God presence will wrap you in the arms of love, sending forth every good and perfect opportunity so that you might have all that is required for your attainment and mastery. You may have to strive. You may have to be attentive to the details of life, to the circumstances that take your attention. But in the end, when the day is done and the affairs of that day are settled, you will know that you have been God victorious. You will be able to lay your head upon the pillow, sending your inner bodies of light into the heart of God to be recharged, so that when you awake on the morning, you will be reborn all over again, refreshed, renewed, strengthened, filled with the courage to keep on. And this, blessed hearts, you will do all the days of your incarnation. It is always my joy to come and be in your presence for a time. For it has not been so very long ago that I sat in my physical body, attuned with my God presence, teaching and instructing the word and the consciousness of the ascended masters. I still long to teach and to instruct you. Perhaps this is why I am so very close to the earth plane. For I desire to take you by the hand when you find it most difficult to maintain the connection with your God presence, and place your hand in the hand of your Holy Christ Self, holding in abeyance for a time, as much as the law will allow, so that you might have surcease from the battle, rest for a time. O blessed hearts, if I was able to do more, you must know that I would. But the law requires that you understand all that I have said from within, that you become the law in these physical bodies that you wear, so that when you have completed your journey victoriously, you may have the mastery over these elements of the earth, of the water, of the fire, of the air, knowing that you have been attentive to every detail. You have not squandered away the light, and you have entered into the compassionate sacrifice of the heart. Have you not already guessed why the virtues are so important? Why learning how to give of yourself in service, in love, in all that you are, is the path to the Ascension? It is because, blessed hearts, that action of the law is indeed the example of the death of the human ego. You cannot be engaged in selfless service and have any portion of the human ego vested in that sacrifice, for it is no longer a sacrifice. For you to make the Ascension, you must be able to give all of yourself into the flame of God, not holding back, not becoming attached to any part of life, but letting go and moving into another unknown. It would seem that your life, since coming forth as the individualization of God, has always been a process of pushing the envelope into a new horizon, a new awareness, a greater attainment. I have news for you. It does not stop with the ascension in the light. There is always a new horizon. And just as easily as your consciousness rehearses the action of the soaring into the upper atmosphere of the light of the Christ, you will find that just as new will be the soaring of the consciousness of your own Christ self into the realms of the I Am Presence. And what a glorious realm that is. I, Lanello, stretch forth my hand to catch you if you fall, to tap you on the shoulder, to remind you if you forget, to hold your hand and comfort you, encourage you, and be the brother of light that will stand by your side through all initiations. As the Chohan of the air element, I can move through the air with you, teaching you of that realm that will allow you the greater understanding of responsibility and embracing the divine plan for which you have come. Through this Christmas tide, will you not give blessing and gratitude to all of life that supports the flame of God that burns upon the altar of your heart? For indeed, all of life is in support of every single flame of God. Just as I support you, there are those ascended and cosmic beings that reach through the veil of Maya and illusion of this plane of the physical octave, and from time to time perform the grace of bestowing opportunity and assistance where there are those that are striving, trying with all their might, and attending to the flame of God. Be at peace this Christmas Eve, and allow for the silence to embrace you, to renew you, to fill your being with the light of the Christ, so that you are ready to embrace the new year. I am Lanello, your brother of light. Merry Christmas to you.